The glittering world of reality television has always promised its viewers an intimate, unrestricted look into the lives of the wealthy, the famous, and the deeply dramatic. For over a decade, audiences have remained utterly captivated by the high-stakes lifestyles of affluent families who navigate the complex waters of sudden fame, public scrutiny, and the inescapable presence of the media cameras. In this rarefied air, personal achievements are celebrated on a grand scale, but the fall from grace is equally magnified, played out across the front pages of tabloids and discussed in millions of households worldwide. The fascinating dichotomy of this lifestyle lies in how quickly an enviable existence of luxury yachts, high-end fashion, and exclusive galas can be instantly overshadowed by the harsh reality of unexpected legal entanglements and sudden controversy. It is a world where every smile is analyzed, every social media post is dissected for hidden meaning, and the boundaries between private family struggles and public entertainment become completely blurred. The families who inhabit this unique space understand that public attention is a powerful but highly unpredictable force, capable of elevating them to incredible heights or pulling them into the center of a chaotic media storm at a moment's notice. To truly understand the gravity of the latest events unfolding under the intense glare of the public spotlight, we must first look closer at how these glamorous public personas are constructed and what happens when the carefully maintained facade begins to show unexpected fractures. If you want to stay completely up to date on all the latest developments, exclusive breakdowns, and behind-the-scenes deep dives into the world of entertainment and celebrity news, please take a quick moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an essential update from our channel. The story of reality television fame is often a story of multi-generational visibility, where the children of major public figures grow up directly in front of millions of viewers, transforming from toddlers into young adults under an unforgiving and constant microscope. For these young individuals, the ordinary challenges of growing up, navigating high school, selecting a university, and finding an independent identity are entirely complicated by the fact that their family names carry immense cultural weight and historical baggage. Every milestone they reach is celebrated by an international fan base, but every misstep, no matter how minor or misunderstood, is instantly amplified into a major national news headline. This relentless exposure creates a unique environment where privacy is a rare luxury and the pressure to maintain an image of effortless perfection is incredibly intense. Recently, a series of surprising developments has once again turned the media spotlight toward one of the most prominent families in the history of reality television, sparking intense speculation, endless debates, and a flurry of unanswered questions across multiple social media platforms. The public has grown accustomed to the dramatic arguments, lavish parties, and intense rivalries that define this specific circle of wealth and influence, but the latest news hints at a much deeper, more complicated narrative unfolding behind closed doors, far away from the polished production values of reality television networks as the summer sun begins to heat up. The internet has found itself flooded with breaking reports and vague legal filings that suggest a significant shifting of the tides for a young woman who has spent nearly her entire life in the public eye. Up until very recently, her digital presence painted a picture of absolute tranquility, filled with idyllic images of academic success at the University of Tampa, joyful family reunions, and relaxing afternoons spent lounging on luxury yachts under clear blue skies. To the casual observer, it appeared to be the quintessential lifestyle of a successful, well-adjusted young influencer enjoying the rewards of hard work and family prominence. However, beneath this picturesque surface of sun-drenched vacations and celebratory milestones, an entirely different story was quietly developing within the local judicial system of New Jersey. The contrast between the carefree, glamorous images shared online and the serious reality of official police documentation has created a profound sense of intrigue and confusion among fans and media analysts alike. It raises fundamental questions about the true nature of celebrity culture and the hidden pressures faced by young adults who must constantly balance their private personal lives with the massive, often chaotic expectations of a global audience that feels entitled to know every single detail of their existence. The mystery deepens when one considers the specific timing of these emerging reports, which began circulating just as another successful academic year was drawing to a close, signaling what should have been a time of celebration and relaxation. Instead of standard headlines about summer plans or career aspirations, the public was suddenly confronted with official terminology from law enforcement agencies, mentioning specific dates, exact times, and severe legal classifications that seemed entirely detached from the glamorous lifestyle portrayed on social media. The incident in question reportedly took place in Montville Township, New Jersey, on a seemingly ordinary late afternoon in mid-May, specifically around 6:12 in the evening. For several days, the details remained completely hidden from public view, tucked away within the confidential files of local law enforcement, while the family continued to present an image of absolute normalcy and calm to their millions of followers. This strategic silence only fueled the growing curiosity of the public, as media outlets scrambled to piece together a timeline of events that could explain how a quiet evening in a suburban New Jersey town could suddenly transform into a matter of official legal record when the news finally broke. It sent shockwaves through the entertainment community, not because of explicit details, but because of the stark clinical nature of the charges listed in the police documentation. Words like simple assault and causing bodily injury were suddenly attached to a name that had previously been associated only with youthful energy, academic progress, and reality television royalty. The gravity of these terms immediately escalated the situation from a minor piece of neighborhood gossip into a serious legal matter that required official court appearances and the intervention of legal professionals. Adding to the overall complexity and sensitivity of the situation was the official classification of the case under the highly protected designation of domestic violence and confidentiality, a status that legally restricts the flow of information to the public and ensures that the core details of the event remain shielded from prying eyes. This protective legal barrier has created an informational vacuum which has inevitably been filled by intense speculation, rumors, and a desperate search for context by fans who are eager to understand what truly transpired on that mid-May afternoon in Montville Township, as the scheduled court date of May 19th approached and passed without any public announcements, press releases, or official statements from the family or their legal representatives. The sense of mystery surrounding the case only intensified. In the world of modern celebrity, an absolute absence of information is often interpreted as a sign of intense behind-the-scenes activity, as public relations teams and legal advisors work tirelessly to manage the narrative and protect the long-term reputation of their clients. The current outcome of the case remains completely unknown to the general public, leaving a lingering cloud of uncertainty over the young woman's future and creating a dramatic narrative tension that keeps audiences completely hooked. Rather than offering a direct explanation, a formal apology, or a clear denial of the allegations, the young woman chose to break her silence in a highly subtle, contemporary manner that has become characteristic of the digital age. She turned to her massive Instagram platform, where instead of posting a lengthy statement or a video address, she shared a series of cryptic, thought-provoking messages that seemed designed to address the ongoing drama without acknowledging any specific facts or legal charges. One of the shared images featured a simple roadside sign carrying a powerful message about humility and judgment, stating that none of us sit high enough to look down on anybody, urging her followers to remain humble in the face of life's unpredictable challenges and public scrutiny. The deliberate choice to share such a specific, philosophically charged message on social media during a time of intense personal legal scrutiny represents a fascinating modern phenomenon in the realm of celebrity public relations. By utilizing a cryptic quote about the dangers of looking down on others, Milania Giudice managed to communicate directly with her audience while completely bypassing the traditional media channels that were eagerly demanding explicit answers. This strategic move allowed her to project an aura of inner strength and quiet resilience, subtly suggesting to her millions of followers that the public narrative surrounding her recent arrest might be missing crucial context or failing to capture the complete truth of the situation. To further complicate the narrative and add a layer of warmth amid the unfolding legal drama, she also shared a light-hearted digital meme that spoke directly to the extraordinarily close, almost peer-like bond she shares with her famous mother, Teresa Giudice. The meme jokingly noted how their relationship is so incredibly close that she sometimes completely forgets she is speaking to her own mother. A sentiment that beautifully underscores the profound emotional reliance and mutual support system that has defined the Giudice family through countless public and private trials over the years. This dual social media approach served a dual purpose, as it simultaneously defended her personal character against quick moral judgments, while reinforcing the idea that her immediate family remains an unbreakable, unified front in the face of external adversity. To fully comprehend the deep atmospheric tension and the high stakes surrounding this sudden legal situation, one must look closely at the identity of the young woman at the absolute center of this media storm. Milania Giudice is not merely a college student who happened to find herself in a complicated situation in a small New Jersey town. She is a prominent public figure who has quite literally grown up in front of an international television audience. As one of the 4 daughters that the legendary Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice shares with her former husband, Joe Giudice, Milania has had her entire life cataloged, edited, and broadcasted to the world. Viewers have watched her transition from a spirited, energetic toddler into a fashionable, academically ambitious young woman who recently completed her sophomore year at the prestigious University of Tampa. Her sisters, Gia, Gabriella, and Adriana, alongside her mother, form a tightly knit matriarchal powerhouse that has consistently dominated entertainment headlines for over a decade and a half. Because of this unparalleled level of public visibility, any event involving a member of the Giudice family is instantly elevated to a major cultural moment, carrying a level of weight and public interest that few other families in the history of reality television could ever match. The unexpected news of Milania's arrest by the Montville Township Police Department on charges of simple assault and causing bodily injury sent profound shockwaves through her extensive fanbase precisely because it contrasted so sharply with the trajectory of her life as a successful university student. Up until the moment the legal filings became public knowledge, her digital narrative was defined by academic achievements, fashionable campus outfits, and the typical carefree experiences of a young adult finding her footing in the world. The sudden inclusion of official law enforcement terminology, an exact recorded time of 6:12 in the evening on May 14th, and the serious classification of domestic violence and confidentiality completely disrupted this polished public image. It introduced a jarring sense of conflict and tension, forcing the public to confront the reality that behind the glamorous, sun-soaked Instagram photos of yacht vacations and family celebrations lies a complex, highly private world where real-world consequences and intense emotional conflicts can occur just as easily as they do in any ordinary household. This tension is further magnified by the specific legal designation of the case, which was filed under a strict confidentiality clause often reserved for highly sensitive domestic situations. This protective barrier means that while the public is fully aware of the serious nature of the charges, the exact sequence of events, the identities of any other individuals involved, and the specific circumstances that led to law enforcement arriving at the scene remain entirely shrouded in mystery. For a fan base that has spent 15 years witnessing every major argument, celebration, and heartbreak of the Giudice family in high-definition television quality, the sudden lack of descriptive detail for it creates an almost unbearable level of narrative suspense. The silence from the official legal teams and the absence of any comprehensive press releases have turned the situation into an ideological blank canvas, where onlookers are left to wonder whether the incident was a minor, deeply misunderstood family dispute that escalated unexpectedly, or a far more significant personal crisis that will require extensive legal navigation to fully resolve. As the days turned into weeks following the scheduled May 19th court appearance, the absolute silence from all official parties involved has only served to heighten the overall dramatic stakes. In the fast-paced, modern cycle of entertainment news, an ongoing lack of clarity does not cause interest to fade. Instead, it causes speculation to grow exponentially. Media analysts and dedicated followers alike are constantly analyzing every single digital move made by Milania and her mother, searching for any subtle clue, shift in tone, or hidden message that might offer a glimpse into how the legal proceedings are progressing behind closed doors. The overarching tension of this period lies in the absolute unknown, as the public waits to see whether this legal hurdle will dissolve quietly without impacting Milania's academic future and public standing, or if it will develop into a major, defining legal battle that echoes the complex, turbulent history of her family's past experiences with the judicial system. The sheer volume of public interest in this situation is a direct testament to the unique place the Giudice family holds in the landscape of modern popular culture. They are a family that has become synonymous with resilience, having navigated some of the most intense public scrutiny imaginable, while always managing to maintain their status as influential public figures. Every time a new challenge emerges for this family, it carries with it the historical weight of everything they have previously endured, creating a deeply layered narrative that keeps the audience profoundly invested in their ultimate survival and success. The current situation involving Milania is just the latest chapter in a long, unfolding saga of a family that must constantly fight to protect its private dignity while living entirely in the public eye, creating an atmosphere of intense anticipation as everyone waits to see how the main content of this legal situation will ultimately be revealed and resolved. To truly understand why this current legal situation resonates so deeply with the public and why it carries such an immense amount of gravity, one must look back at the long, turbulent history of the Giudice family and their deeply complicated relationship with the American legal system. The drama surrounding Milania is not an isolated incident, but rather the latest chapter in a multi-generational saga of a family that has spent nearly 2 decades navigating the highest peaks of reality television fame alongside the lowest valleys of judicial scrutiny. Longtime followers of the family remember all too well the year 2009, a pivotal moment when Teresa and her former husband, Giudice, initially filed for bankruptcy protection. This fateful financial decision accidentally pulled back the curtain on their highly complex financial affairs, setting off a massive, unstoppable chain reaction of federal investigations and escalating legal battles that would eventually culminate in both parents being convicted on multiple counts of federal fraud. The entire world watched in absolute astonishment as this glamorous reality television powerhouse, famous for lavish spending and a sprawling New Jersey mansion, had to completely face the stark, clinical reality of a federal courtroom. The subsequent legal consequences were historically severe and deeply altered the fabric of the entire family structure. 5 years after their initial filing, the couple received lengthy federal prison sentences that were structured consecutively to ensure that one parent could always remain home to care for their 4 young daughters, including Milania, who was just a child at the time. The immense emotional toll of witnessing both parents serve time in federal correctional facilities was played out directly on national television, creating a profoundly poignant public narrative about childhood resilience in the face of institutional adversity. However, the legal hardships did not simply end when the prison sentences were completed. Giudice's legal status as an illegal immigrant quickly became the center of a high-stakes deportation battle, as he had never officially obtained United States citizenship despite having lived in the country continuously since he was a mere 1-year-old infant. Upon his release from federal custody, he was immediately transferred to an immigration detention center and eventually forced to relocate to Italy to await the final result of his lengthy deportation appeals. This forced geographic separation eventually led to the emotional breakdown of the marriage, with Teresa and Joe officially separating in December of 2019, just a few months after his release, and finalizing their divorce in September of the following year. Joe later established a completely new life for himself in the Bahamas, a location that has since become a frequent vacation destination for his 4 daughters, who regularly take turns traveling across the ocean to maintain a deep, loving relationship with their father. The profound journey of these 4 sisters, Gia, Gabriella, Milania, and Adriana, is defined by an extraordinary capacity to love and support one another through the complete dissolution of their parents' marriage, a highly publicized international deportation, and the constant, unyielding judgment of the media. They have transformed their shared childhood trauma into an unbreakable bond of sisterhood, presenting themselves to the world as a united, sophisticated front that refuses to be defined solely by the historical mistakes of their parents. In the years following the divorce, Teresa Giudice has also undergone a massive personal and romantic transformation, which has further evolved the family dynamic. She famously made headlines during a guest appearance on the Undressed with Paul and Patrick podcast, where she candidly reflected on her decades-long relationship with Joe, stating bluntly that he was never truly the one for her. While she warmly acknowledged that they had made beautiful babies together, she openly praised her new husband, Luis Louis Ruelas, whom she married in a lavish, highly publicized ceremony in 2022, lovingly referring to him as her true twin flame and describing him as an incredibly attentive partner who stands in stark contrast to her past experiences. Demonstrating a remarkable level of emotional maturity and growth, Joe Giudice quickly responded to these comments through media statements with TMZ. stating unequivocally that he completely agrees with his ex-wife's perspective and harbors absolutely no hard feelings whatsoever. He noted that their past relationship is entirely water under the bridge, emphasizing that they continue to successfully co-parent their 4 wonderful daughters and do exactly what needs to be done to ensure the happiness and stability of their children. It is precisely against this rich, complicated backdrop of past survival, profound personal growth, and intense family resilience that Milania's current legal hurdle must be viewed. For a young woman who has watched her family successfully rebuild their lives from the absolute ground up after devastating federal convictions and international separations, a local charge of simple assault represents a significant test of character, but one that her family is uniquely equipped to handle with discretion and strength. The ultimate significance of this situation lies in how it challenges the modern narrative of the Giudice family's total redemption, reminding the public that even as these young women step into adulthood and pursue higher education at respected institutions like the University of Tampa, they still carry the invisible, heavy weight of their family's highly public past. It highlights the profound reality that the journey to independence for a celebrity child is never a straight, easy line, but rather a complex negotiation between their personal choices and the massive, echoing history of the family name they carry. As the legal proceedings in Montville Township continue to move forward completely shielded by confidentiality laws, the ultimate outcome remains unwritten. But the story of the Giudice family suggests that they will face whatever comes next together, completely unified and entirely unbothered by the external noise of public speculation. Milania's choice to remain humble while leaning on the unconditional love of her mother demonstrates a deep, inherited understanding of how to navigate a crisis in the digital era. The world will undoubtedly continue to watch, analyze, and debate every single development in this case, but for the heroes of this journey, the true focus remains entirely on protecting their private peace, supporting one another through unexpected storms, and continuing to move forward with the same fierce, unapologetic determination that has defined their family legacy for generations.